Welcome to the Mel Carmine podcast. Before we begin, I have something you need to see. 11 years ago in Costa Rica, I took a photograph that changed my life forever. I don't claim to speak to God, but I do believe He gave me a mission. Let me show you the photo, then you decide. If you're serious about protecting and growing your wealth, pay close attention. Looking to acquire XRP, I can help. Minimum purchase is $10,000 and there is no maximum. Whether you're investing $10,000 or $10 million, text me directly at 786-704-8817. And while you're at it, ask us how a religious irrevocable trust can get you off the grid and fully protect your assets and investments. Interested in gold and silver? For extremely competitive prices, visit carminesgold.com. Our minimum order is $50,000 and there is no maximum. We can handle virtually any size transaction. Then visit QFS1776.com for exclusive merchandise, links to our social media, and a library of 100% free videos explaining the new financial system millions are following. No hype, no paywall, just information. Don't miss our 5-star documentary everyone is talking about. Dear Mr. President, show me the money. Visit dearmrpresident.net and ask yourself, what if we show you irrefutable, irrevocable evidence in our movie that everyone with a social security number is worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Do we have your attention? The link is in the description below. Finally, join our official Telegram groups and be aware of fake Mel Carmine accounts. If anyone tells you that you must register your XRP with the so-called quantum financial system, it's a scam. Now subscribe and share this episode with someone you care about. Turn up the heat on these scammers and let's get to work. Also, scan the QR code and opt in so you don't miss any amazing workshops at Staying Alive in Cape Canaveral. Now, here's your host, Mel Carmine. Because these things exist, because it is true that they are trying to kill us, because it is true that Pfizer, for example, a lot of people don't know this, Pfizer owns 95%, look it up, 95% of all the cheese companies in the United States. And they're putting a chemical in there because the safe and effective trust to science and the procedure that a lot of us didn't want to do didn't work fast enough. So they have to figure out a way to come back through another back door to try and wipe us out. So if you're eating cheese in America and it's manufactured here, you're probably poisoning yourself. So good luck with that. So they have created all of these vacuums. I'll give you an example. I'm going to do a very different kind of show today. All right. This is one of my favorite toothpastes. Okay. This is charcoal from Himalaya. Okay. Someone said, hey, they're trying to poison everybody with Colgate and Scope and Crest and all these, poisonous toothpastes out there. Somebody said, let's start a company that has look, it's got freaking black seed oil, coconut oil. It's got all good stuff in here. And look at my teeth. I got beautiful teeth, right? That's what I use. This is another one that I use. Same company, made from turmeric with coconut oil and all kinds of beautiful stuff in there. All natural ingredients. There's no chemicals that will absolutely mess with your mind, okay? And these companies are crushing it. You understand? These companies, here's a underarm deodorant that I use, okay? Keep you dry for like 24 hours. Somebody said, hey, we're going to make a product that doesn't have aluminum and all that junk in there. We don't want men to get breast cancer. So boom, voila, they created a product. They're crushing it. Where there is adversity, there is opportunity. This is my wife's favorite brand. Also, no aluminum. This is another one, which is the same company, a roll-on, no aluminum, very natural, okay? This is what we use. We're trying to safeguard from all of the junk, from all the stuff that's out there. Now, if you think you'd like to make some mozzarella cheese, bring in some investors, start a mozzarella company. Or you think you want to make some Parmigiano Reggiano, go to Italy and go to wherever they make Parmigiano Reggiano, they make the best cheese in the world in Italy. Go there and consult with the Italians. Say, hey, how do you make Parmigiano Reggiano? We want to get the poisons out of our cheese in the United States. We got Pfizer trying to poison us all. Boom. Start a company. Then you come to people like me and Nino Rodriguez and 107 and Michael Jaco and all of the podcasters, and we will blast it out there on the airwaves to make sure that everybody knows about that there is cheese out there that is not controlled by Pfizer, that's not going to kill you, okay? You want to start a new healthy McDonald's? Great, wonderful. Go talk to all the ranchers in Florida. Let's start here in Florida, for example. Just use Florida as a hypothetical. Maybe somebody might want to do it in Montana. Somebody might want to do it in California. Talk to all the cattle ranchers and say, listen, we want to buy 100% USDA, grass-fed, grass-finished, organic, real beef. As a matter of fact, if the ranchers don't know about it, make sure they do know about it. The best grass that their cows can eat is barley grass. They can grow it. It grows inside under lights. It grows wickedly fast, and the cows love it. Not only that, but they produce 37% more milk, and the milk is gorgeous. It's delicious. Barley grass, okay? And if they need to, because you built a major company that's selling hamburgers left, right, and center because you're going so fast because people love hamburgers. But if we're going to eat hamburgers, let's eat healthy hamburgers. Make sure that the bun is made from, flour that's got no glyphosate, no Roundup. Monsanto should have been arrested a long time ago. I don't know why they're still out there. I don't know why Bill Gates is still allowed to do what he does. I'm not sure why, Soros is allowed to do what he does. But the reality and the facts are that these people are here and they live in the same petri dish as us. It's not like it's like you're poisoning your own backyard. It's not like you're getting to live an extra 40, 50 years than us. You're dying just as quickly as we are. You're not that bright for people who are very rich. So the bottom line becomes this: recognize the vacuums. What is your passion? Find your passion, organize, get a group, get investors. Let's go. We got a lot of work to do, folks. I'm going to build the biggest social media empire. That's what drives me. I got something that's coming for you guys that we've been investigating for a long time, and we just threw a couple of dollars in it. And we can't even mention the name, even if we were to have a show on it, and we will. And you'll have to get in touch with my guy, and you'll talk with him directly. He'll get you on board. And not to get off track, this is where artificial intelligence on steroids meets cryptocurrency trading on autopilot. Next level. They're making, 0.5% a day. They're making 1% a day. They are crushing it. And this gentleman's going to come on and give you his belief why this is completely legit. Not financial advice. And you can go as slow as you want or as medium fast as you want or as fast as you want. I'm just telling you, these guys that I'm about to introduce you to are making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. So while we wait for the XRP, you could start with as little as $250, which is what me and Amber did. And we brought in a couple of people. We kept it hush-hush for like 6 months. And she says, that thing that we got involved with, it's starting to spit out like, $500-600 a week. I said, you got to be shitting me. You got to be shitting me. So now they got my attention. I talked to the gentleman today. These are legitimate people. And I know these people personally, et cetera. And I could tell you emphatically that this is real. This is not one of those things where there's going to be a rug pull. It's completely legit. These people are flying all over, doing presentations in Dubai, in Toronto, all over the United States, etc. And they'll be coming to Cape Canaveral soon. So if I was you, I would definitely buy a ticket to the next Junior Quantum Summit. We're going to have a workshop about this particular program. We're going to have a workshop about health, wealth, the new financial system, XRP. It's going to be a one-day extravaganza, maybe a two-day extravaganza. We're not sure yet all of the details, but we're going to wait, I think, for the XRP to rise a little bit when we are smelling some kind of a next bull run coming, and then we're going to go, okay? So there are plenty of vacuums out there that you can make a ton of money with. They have destroyed this planet. They're intent on destroying you and your family. They're intent on getting you sick, keeping you sick, and going to the pharmaceutical industry. They are intent to make sure that their stock does very well, okay, in the pharmaceutical industry, because that's what they're invested. They're invested to keep you sick. You're going to go buy the drugs. Stock is going to go. It's a very simple formula that they follow, and they've been following it for years, okay? Now, I'm going to share my screen with you. And I will tell you that we got a 14-minute movie here ready for you. It's not a movie. It's a 14-minute. Somebody used their Social Security trust, birth certificate, bond, whatever you want to call it, paid their entire mortgage off and never was asked for the money back. So I know that there's a way for us to get our money back. There might be a few back doors that Cobus and I are working on. Cobus is going to be a regular on the show, probably bi-weekly for the time being. But I'm gonna blow this up here, and we're gonna share. Here we go. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, and this is 14 minutes. I'm gonna play the whole thing because you guys need to pay attention. This is very, very powerful. Okay, share sound. Here we go. And
hello, and welcome back to the show. Today I want to have a look at the bills of exchange. Now, you may remember I've had a gentleman called Mike Holt on the show several times, explaining how the bills of exchange can help people pay those rather nasty utility bills or bills from the government. And just to give this some sort of credence, I suppose, I have paid off my water bill with one of these. And the first time they accepted it, no problem, for about £300. The second time they pushed back, and I used different methods to sort that out. However, Mike has sent me, and we will get him back on the show to explain this in more detail and other things that he is doing. But he has explained, he's put together a separate website now, or a separate web page, I suppose is a better way of describing it, which makes it a bit easier for people to understand. Now, also, to give this credibility, I have had a gentleman get in touch with me and said that he, using the bill of exchange and basically his signature has paid off his mortgage, completely cleared it, £130,000. And that may make people go, what do you mean? So he did the bill of exchange, he signed off the thing, and it went quiet for a while. And then when he went to check his mortgage account to see how much he was owing, he found it had all been settled. That is quite startling, I think you'll agree. And other people who have had utility bills, electric bills and things, have also used the same method. And of course, in these times in which everybody is finding it very, very tight, people are being evicted from their houses or they're having debt collectors coming along, I thought I would share this method with you. Of course, what it does, effectively, as I understand it, is using your legal fiction, the name on the birth certificate or the certified entry of entry, the Crown Corporation's legal fiction, to settle the account, which is either coming off your trust fund, or it is being used to go onto the financial instrument that you effectively make, is going on to the shares and things, the stock market, and then is being utilised to make money for the company that you sign for. As far as we're concerned, as long as our bills are paid and we haven't had to delve into our own private funds, so much the better. So I thought I'd just take you through this webpage. I'll leave the link in the description and you can do it. Now, please, do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice or anything like that. I am simply sharing a process that a number of people have used and found worked. There will be pushbacks, of course, but according to this webpage, then the bills of exchange, if they have accepted it and you don't get the financial instrument returned within 28 days, then legally, as I understand it, that means that it has been accepted. And I believe that's what happened with when I dealt with the council tax last year. So let's have a look anyway and see how we get on. So here we go. How to create the bills of exchange. And the website here says, of course, keep your cash in your pocket, understanding and using the bill of exchange to legally settle all bills sent by the government corporation without spending your hard-earned cash. It goes into a little bit of information about how that, or rather what it is and all of that. But the bit that I want to get to is the mechanics of it, because this does seem to be very advantageous for a lot of people. And again, just to reiterate, you've got to take on board that you may well have a bit of pushback, there may be a bit of fear, but if you hold your nerve, it ought to, and I stress ought to, come out all right. So how does the bill of exchange work? The mechanics are straightforward, but rely on precise execution. So you get a bill from the government or a utility bill. So this, don't go after small family-run firms and things like that. These are really the big corporations who understand how this works. It could be a fine, it could be a toll notice, or it could be any other demand. And as I say, I did deal with this on the council tax. The issuer is the organisation that sends you the bill. You create the bill of exchange. You, the alleged debtor, follow the steps below to draft the document naming the creditor, i.e. the issuer, that's the people who sent you the bill, as the payee. You mail the bill of exchange by registered mail and sit back and wait for the response. Now, by law, they should respond with a receipt, but often they'll try to deny your bill of exchange. In other words, they'll come back and say, oh, we don't accept that sort of thing. So be prepared to handle any rejections. So you're not losing anything because, at the end of the day, if they say, no, we don't accept it, you can, of course, just pay in an ordinary way. You're not going to be shoved in prison or anything like that for attempting to pay by this method, as long as you settle the account one way or another. Acceptance or rejection. The creditor receives the bill of exchange and has a limited window, typically 72 hours, but you can set the time limit up to 28 days if you wish to accept or return it. If they keep it without objection, it is legally considered settled under the Bill of Exchange Act. That's the important thing. Settlement. The debt is settled and the biller can take it to the bank for payment. And I believe that is simply how it works. So you can read the webpage, and I'll leave the link in the description. So here are its steps, which I just thought I would run through briefly so that you can see. So it says here, step 1, gather your materials. Original billing notice is sent by the government or whomever. Always make a digital and paper copy of the document sent by the agency so that you have proof, i.e. the speeding ticket, utility bill, etc. So that you start creating a paper trail. Effectively, it is your court case, should you ever need it. Pen and paper, you'll need a wet ink signature for legal weight, envelope and postage for sending back. Okay, he says this is very important. Scan or photograph the bill as soon as you get it and keep the image in a folder dedicated to the bill of exchange. Always keep copies, create a paper trail, proof of receipt of the bill of exchange you send back. So they're the bare bones of it, which is fairly simplistic. Step 2, draft the bill of exchange. So I'll give you an example of how it should look in a moment. And we had done this on previously, but it's always good to revisit some of these things. So pay to the order, the biller's name, without recourse. So this is slightly different from how I did it, but I think this is an updated version. By, and this is where you sign and date, you sign your name as you would normally do. You write your name below your signature, first name of the house, surname, endorser and general executor. Sign it with your usual signature in blue or red if you wish. No digital signatures. Date it for the day you post it. This starts the 72-hour clock. Each time you create a bill of exchange, click on the LIP forms, LIP forms, image below, to generate authority to process the bill of exchange letter. And you'll see on the website you can do this. Now, I didn't do that. I just signed it, sent it off. I did have some pushback, but eventually they must have accepted it because I never received a liability order and it all went very quiet with the council tax. But I had a statement from the water company saying that it was settled. So I had set a precedent with them, even though after making the video, of course, they were flurried with a number of people doing the same, and then they pushed back quite heavily. If you know a specific person's name, i.e. the officer issuing the fine, address it to them for added precision, or address it to the I guess that's the chief finance officer of the organisation. You can also make a copy of the original and address it to the fraud department. So now, if I press this button, we should see an example of how to do the bill itself and what you do and how you write it. As you can see, the information, the personal information has been redacted here, but that's not the point. So we've got a $1,915 bill here from something called AGL, which presumably is an electric company in Australia, but this works in this country as well. And you can see this is how you do it in red ink, as you can see, so that it's all signed. It's all basically, in my mind, what's going on here is as if you're turning this instrument, this bill, into a financial instrument. And so it can be then effectively a promissory note of sorts, so that it can be taken by the issuer to the bank, and it will settle the account. He says also add any other extra bits of paper that come with it, void as initio here, which basically says not relevant, nothing to do with it, and what have you. So there it is. You send it back. Step 3. Place the bill of exchange you've created into an envelope and address it to the person or the organisation, department, head, if you don't have a name. Always send your bill of exchange by registered mail, as we said, tracking issues so that they cannot deny receiving it. No need to get a signature at the other end, although it's handy. Your post office receipt is evidence that you sent it. Mail to the address on the notice. Don't call or email, as verbal communication weakens your paper trail. And I would definitely say keep all your communications via paper rather than emails or telephone calls. I have my phone permanently on silent because I don't want them calling to me and changing jurisdiction in a conversation. And here it is, your 74-hour rule on step 4. If they don't return the bill of exchange within 3 days, if you have given them longer to respond, then don't do anything until that time expires. Follow up. If they persist with demands and refuse to honour your bill of exchange, which is what happened to me and with the council tax, after the time limit, note their response and lack of. It's evidence that they've accepted the bill of exchange. In other words, if they keep coming back to you, unless they return this bill, this is my understanding, unless they return it, they have accepted it. They might say, oh, we don't accept this, we don't accept it. And I had exactly that with the council, saying, well, we don't accept it, we don't accept it. And I said, well, that's fine, send it back, and I'll settle it a different way. But they didn't. And then eventually it just all disappeared. Once you have sent your bill of exchange or response letter, do nothing. Wait for their response and then decide your next step. Often an organisation will settle your account, but neglect to confirm with a receipt. You can and should demand a legally formatted receipt notarised by the person responsible. But if you don't get a bill back, then, it kind of says it, doesn't it? Check the next bill they send. It shows the new amount. This shows that they accepted the bill of exchange, which is what happened to me with the water bill, because the water bill came and it said the last couple of payments and it showed that them were paid. And here, stand firm, avoid phone calls. And if you do accidentally say, I can't discuss this matter over the phone, communicate by mail only, keep the records of every notice they send. Anyway, it talks about the things that can go wrong, which is worth looking at, and what to do when they don't honour the bill. And of course, if they don't honour the bill and they don't return the financial instrument, then another thing I did was to send them an invoice. I said, well, you haven't returned it, so I'm sending you an invoice with the same amount. These are all different tactics, of course. I'm not saying any of them are the perfect solution to anything. But in this world where the government is causing chaos and mayhem to people and putting the price up of everything, taxing us left, right and centre, the utility companies may not be acting properly, legally, according to the jurisdiction. Many of the utility companies, particularly say with electricity, are merely brokers pretending to supply you with electricity when actually they're not doing that. They're under a different act, the Credit Act, as I understand it. Then we're just simply responding to that by saying, fine, I'll send your bill, I'll try the signature. As I say, always have the money aside, because you can always at the end of the day go and say, okay, I'm fed up with the fear and the pressure and the rejection of all of this. You can at the end of the day pay. The way I look at it, if you want it to put it in a different way, is you get a bill, it comes in, and you go, okay, I'll settle that with your signature. But look at it this way, you give them a gold bar. This is just a way of looking at it. They don't actually do this. It's like you've given them a gold bar, and then they come back and say, well, we don't accept gold bars. And you go, fine, okay, hand me my gold bar back, and I will pay you in the normal way or another way. If they don't hand you your gold bar back, you've effectively given them the money. They've accepted the gold bar. Your signature is effectively the gold bar that you create. You are creating money with your signature. That's how it works. I'll leave the link in the description. You have a look at it, see what you think, and I will be back with more things soon. And as I say, we'll get Mike on the show in due course, and we'll go through it another time, plus find out all the other things that he's doing. But I'll leave the link in the description and you can see for yourself how you feel about it. This isn't financial advice, it's not legal advice, it is just an option that you might want to explore for entertainment purposes only.
I thought that was a great video. Not only do I thought it was a great video, I'll send you guys the link to this guy's. It was actually, I think, reposted by Whiplash 437, but I'll leave the link down below. And I got a few more videos that I want to show you now. Getting back to creating also a healthy McDonald's and sourcing the meat from local ranchers in Florida, using Florida as the example. Also talk to your local farmers who make the pickles, the onions, the tomatoes, everything organic. Okay, we will patronize you. We will tell our crowds to come patronize you, and we can put McDonald's. I don't even know why anybody even eats at McDonald's anymore or Burger King. You're eating, I can't say it. You get it? Go do your homework. I mean, they have done lab tests where they realize a percentage of the meat inside the burger is. We're playing a game of charades here because you know who's running the show. Not for long, because I'm going to fill the void. Tube1776.com. If you want to help me raise money, get the movie out on the straw man, dearmrpresident.net, dearmrpresident.net. Get the movie out to everybody, 10 telling 10. One person, everything starts with the power of one. One person telling 10, those 10 telling 10. Post it on your social media. If you want to go more than 10, you want to go 100 or 50, you want to do it every day. Wonderful, great. I applaud that kind of an effort. We're in it together. If we pull together, we win. If we say, Mel, we're doomed, then you're right. If you say the glass is half empty, you're right. If you say the glass is half full, you're right. Choose, okay? So let's go to the next video. I like this video a lot. Now, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on these. Are short videos, the next ones that are coming in. Okay, here we go. And voila. Oh, let me restart that.
Got to appreciate the kahunas. You've got to appreciate the kahunas of some of the XRP Army community. I just spoke to someone who's been commenting on a lot of my posts. Great guy. He dived onto the live stream. We had a bit of a chat. His name is Monty, absolute legend of a bloke. He believes that XRP is going to get to $1 million per coin. Bitcoin's going to zero. The earth is flat. Twin Towers was an inside job. And he's also drained his pension to go pot committed on
Allegedly.
XRP. Out of all of that, you've got to appreciate the fucking kahunas on the bloke, because he's all in. He's all in on something he believes in. And you know what? You've got to respect it. You've got to appreciate the kahunas.
Now, I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. Does Mel Carmine believe that XRP could go to $1 million? When one day you wake up and you go to the market cap, and you might not even see XRP listed there anymore. The market cap is like 1985 shit, stock market shit. It's old, antiquated, bullshit nonsense. The Bitcoin bros invented the market cap so that they can show that they have the big swinging you know what. One day, the possibility does exist that you're going to go to the market cap and XRP not only is decoupled, but doesn't even exist because it's doing something completely different. It's called moving all of the money on Earth in real time, fast settlements in between 1.8 seconds, which is the fastest ever recorded, to as much as 5 seconds anywhere in the world, like sending a text message or an email. It's like, boom, and real cheap. And there's a certain amount of XRP that gets burnt. You and I are not in charge. You and I have no say into what it's going to be worth. They have to literally take 36 billion XRP that are sitting in escrow, divided by 100 quadrillion, 200 quadrillion, 150. Nobody knows how many quadrillions, but because we're moving into this new reality, the reality is going to be real reality. And you got universal basic income, and you got money's going to be moving. This new planet that's coming is going to be so money hungry. It's going to make it look like the old world was on a money diet compared to what's coming. How much money do they need to move? They need to divide, okay, the amount of money that's being moved by the total circulating supply of XRP is going to be the big kahuna, like this guy says. And you got to respect the guy that takes his entire pension, throws it in, takes a loan against his house, throws it in. He's got money coming in every month and throws it in. That's a guy that believes. I believe. I buy XRP every single month. I've been doing it for 11 years almost. Do I believe our day will come? Yes. Do I believe that maybe the Bitcoin bros are right and never see $20? or 25 bucks? I hope not. But even at 25 bucks, I think I could retire. So the bottom line is you and I are not in charge. The boys and girls upstairs who understand the new world because they are in charge of the new world, who they know how to do subtractions and minuses, divisions and calculations, and they're going to take that 36 billion divided by the number of money that's going to be moving, whether it's 100 quadrillion, 200 quadrillion, 500 quadrillion, nobody knows. And by the way, not to get off course or off track. See, I said this yesterday on a live space with To Whom It May Concern, who's a hell of a personality out of Staten Island, New York, Paisan. I said something that he's never heard. And I've been saying it for at least 8 years, 9 years. They don't really care about all these illegal aliens in New York, in the UK, in Dallas, in Michigan. They don't care. And the reason why they don't care is very simple. When the universal basic income comes in, and whoever's eligible for, I don't even know, maybe even the people who are going to become billionaires might be eligible. I don't know. If you want to collect that 5,000 or 8,000 or 10,000, whatever that number is, it's irrelevant. But if you want to collect that number, and it's going to be a significant number as far as I'm concerned, according to Elon Musk, because it's money that's coming out of thin air. It's an illusion. They're going to give you money that they grab out of thin air. It doesn't matter whether the number is 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month or 600,000 a month. It costs them nothing. Either one of those numbers costs them nothing. Now, they're not going to give you 600,000 a month, so don't hold your breath. They might not even give you 20,000, but maybe 10,000 is in the cards. And maybe that's all that's needed because people are going to go to the UK office who are there illegally, causing mayhem, who are not going to assimilate. That's the word. They're never going to assimilate. They want to turn you into a Muslim. And if you don't want to be a Muslim, they're so hardcore, they want to chop your head off. And if you want to collect your basic income, they say, sorry, Mr. Muhammad Abdullah, whatever their fucking name is. Like Nino says, I love when he does that. All right. You got to go back to your country of origin. Mass exodus. Try to get back in. You're not doing it. And instantaneously, we can clean up the entire planet. Italy is also in shambles. You understand? It's coming, folks. It's coming. Now, let's go to the next video. I think you'll find this one very interesting as well. This is The Straw Man. I did the movie for a reason, and I said it yesterday on To Whom It May Concern. I said, I had to make the movie because I wanted to make it so simple, stupid, because all the ones that are out there right now, everybody said, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Do you know how many people have called me? I've lost count. Mel, I did not understand the straw man concept until I watched your movie, DRMRPresident.net, right? Now I understand it. 5-star reviews from here to freaking Dallas and back. Unbelievable. So I said, when I make the movie and I understand it, because I'm as dumb as they come, okay, then it's ready for world consumption. That's exactly what we did. All right, let's watch this one.
This video is going viral right now on Twitter because he found something hidden in your Social Security paperwork that most people never knew. Check this out.
Look at your social, and at the bottom it'll have that line where it says signature. It looks like just a normal line, right? Until you zoom in, but it's actually fine print. This is why you should always read the fine print. And look behind it, look at the circle. There's even more fine print in there. See this is what they mean by reading the fine print.
So hold on a second. We know that money used to say on it, redeemable for silver or gold, right? It used to say, or, backed by gold and silver. And now it's a note, Federal Reserve note, for example. But did you know about your birth certificate fraudulency? Check this out. Now look closely. Did you know birth certificate? When you are born, your parents register you with the government as a corporation by receiving and signing a birth certificate. In a few years, your corporation will receive a taxpayer ID number called a Social Security number. This is so you can be used as collateral for the governments to acquire debt. That's right, you and your labor, time, and energy is what backs up the national debt. You are stock. Birth certificates, marriage certificates, there's an angle to this. The government getting involved. And I'm not even talking about the straw man sovereign citizen thing. But I mean, this does have to do with that. We're talking about when you get a birth certificate, that some element of ownership may be put over the person with the birth certificate. It's not some organic, happy-dappy way to keep track of the citizens. Woo, we have birth certificates, we know who's who. It's about control. But what if we all said no? What if we all said no? Have you thought about that? Or not even all of us, like 50%, 30%, even 20%. That's a whole lot of people saying no. That would totally mess up the whole friggin' system. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Isn't that wonderful? I mean, look, the next video is going to tie it all together, and I think you'll appreciate it. But you see, They've bamboozled us. Look, parents. The parents are renting you to the state. When they do the birth certificate thing and they ink your feet and they give you the all caps name and they give you the social security number, you're now in the system. That bond number, that social security number, is how they keep track of how much money is in your bond. Interest on top of interest on top of interest on top of interest on top of interest. It's all being retraded back in. They don't even need to print the money, folks. They got plenty of it. Imagine if everybody in America is worth $500-600 million and they can get to use that money to do whatever it is they want. And there's 350 million of us. 350 million times an average of, there's some people that are worth billions and billions. I'm being conservative when I say 500 million. Think about that. This is all going to come to an end, folks. The IRS is going to go to hell. The governments will be shrunk down to nothing. We get artificial intelligence. Why do we need a bunch of dumb politicians running us when artificial intelligence is already starting to think that we are in the way? They think we are a nuisance now. And it's going so fast. Maybe there's a reason why I'm being slowed down. You know, I got to listen to the science from God. God has a really unique way of communicating, and you got to be able to read between the lines. Maybe the software that we need to use, which is 3 softwares, to build the most prolific social media platform the world is ever going to see, according to AI, which I've had many conversations with, 90 plus conversations with over the last 6 months, we're going to kick their ass. How do I know that? Well, I keep telling the story of the battery. Some of you may have heard the story. I'll tell it again for the new people. BYD, which is the only major thorn in the side of Tesla, it's another electric car company, wanted to build a battery. Go check the story out. It's on the internet. They wanted to build a battery that can get charged from 0 to 100% in less than 5 minutes. Choice number 1, go to an engineer, humanoid engineer, somebody who went to college. Choice number 2, go to AI. They decided to go the AI route. By golly, we got a battery that can be charged in under 5 minutes. That is a game changer. Now, I don't tell you to go buy an electric car unless you like to drive a radiation machine. I personally don't. Give me my gas guzzler. You notice one thing, and I meant to mention this in the last few videos, and I keep forgetting, but now I'm glad that I'm on the subject. It just reminded me. Look at all the SUVs and all the cars that are coming out that are non-electric. They're going out of their way to make them ugly. And they're going out of their way to have very stylish electric cars. Pay attention, because they're trying to push you into a radiation machine. Again, the sick care model. They need their stocks to go up. They need you on pharmaceuticals. They keep you sick, their stock goes up because you go run into the doctor and the pharmacy and the hospital and back to the doctor and back to more drugs. Oh, I'm in pain. Okay, great. Take some more of these. Oh, I got these side effects. Oh, take some more of these. Are you starting to get the picture, man? That's why staying alive exists. I can't wait for that place to blow up. It's gonna blow up in such a huge way, because I see in the next 12 months, there's so much about frequency, vibration, and sound healing on the internet now that we're in the middle of the convergence of the perfect storm. The perfect storm being that people are getting educated, we're advertising, but normally would have taken maybe 2 years for us to get that place completely jam-packed full. It's going to take maybe a year. And we're spending money every single month, and people are starting to call. People are starting to watch the videos. People are going to a website. People are watching the testimonials. People are calling in for the 17-minute free consultation. At the end of our commercial, we say, 17-minute free consultation, call in, the number's below, the links are below, etc. And they haven't, I know that there's plenty of people in Brevard County that know what 17 is. And I put it out there subliminally so that people say, oh, these guys are part of that 17th letter in the alphabet. You betcha. You betcha. So, you know, the bottom line becomes that, like I've said to you guys early, if you pay attention to what's really, really important, and I come with the platform that fast forward 2-3 years down, hopefully it won't even take that long, but 2-3 years down the road, billions of people are going to come, because it is a much better mousetrap. Okay. It's like right now you're on YouTube. That's like Mother Teresa. And I just built Marilyn Monroe on steroids, a modern version of Marilyn Monroe. Gorgeous, beautiful, sexy. Of course, you're going to want to leave Mother Teresa to come hang out with Marilyn Monroe, you know, big boobs, nice nipples, right? What happens when you got the attention of billions of people? You become a wrecking ball. Somebody comes to me and says, hey, I got a product that the world needs to know about. We're going to look at everything. And everything that's disruptive, which is very sexy to this dude, you better believe we're going to call the Nino Rodriguez's, who will have a platform on our website, and the Michael Jacos, all of them, all the big boys and girls. You know who you are. Hey, you got to get these guys on your show. They got an incredible product. As a matter of fact, they're going to give you a little kickback. And they're going to make above and beyond what we pay them, which is extremely generous. And we're going to have a constitution that says, hey, that's what you get, baby. When you hear it, read it. Exactly. You know exactly. There's no bullshit. I'm going to put you in jail. You lost your account. You're being treated like children. Of course, you're going to jump from that to this. I can't wait to come up with the 17-minute movie that explains the whole thing pretty much without giving away too much, but enough to give you guys like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was just talking to a friend of mine who has a platform. He's got 24,000 pieces, XRP guy. I said, do you realize you're going to make something like, and I threw out a number. I'm not going to throw out that number. Like I said, I want to give out as little information as possible, but I want to give you guys, keep you at the edge of your seat in suspense. He goes, you got to be kidding me. I said, when was the last time YouTube paid you that? Are you kidding me? Because I don't make that in a year. It's going to come. And the faster you guys push out the movie, Dear MR President, and get everybody pissed off about their Social Security and the freaking bond number and the birth certificate scam, we could either work together or we could work apart. We could win this thing, folks. I know we could win this thing because we all decide tomorrow, unanimously, all set our watches, say tomorrow at 9 o'clock, we're all going to work with Mel Carmine, not against Mel Carmine. Well, the New World Order is DOA, dead on arrival. They don't stand a chance. They don't understand the power of people. They're trying to keep us divided. They're on their yachts right now laughing at you while they're doing their champagne and cocaine and whores. Pretty soon they'll be selling those yachts to you at 25 cents on the dollar. If I can have my cake and eat it too. I told you about rammed earth. Go look it up. This is a concept that I want to blow out because I want to destroy the cement industry. It's here now. Rammed earth. If you're handy and you got a bunch of kids that, you got a big family and friends and cousins, you build it yourself, it'll cost you 70% of what you could buy a house for, and it's gorgeous. You should see some of these designs that are on the internet. Rammed earth. Amazing. There's one specifically in Tucson. A super ultra modern, incredible roof, all rammed earth. Amazing. Now, if you have to hire a bunch of people, that labor costs a lot of money in the United States, you're probably going to cost you the same. But at least you have a house that's earthquake proof, hurricane proof, tornado proof, fire proof, flood proof. You don't have to paint it. There's no sheetrock that you have to import from China. You never have to paint it. The walls are monolithical, three foot thick, sometimes even more. Typically, they're between 2 and 3 feet. I like them at least 3 foot. The thicker they are, the more monolithical the home is. You'll never need air conditioning or heating ever. Go look it up. Fast forward 2 years, 3 years. Tube 1776 is up and running and worldwide, and it lives in every living room in the world. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to spread that thing like chicken pox on steroids. I want to make sure everybody knows about it. I want to make sure nobody's homeless. Gee, what a thought. You mean to tell me that you could build your house with the dirt that's in the backyard of your house with a little bit of clay, as long as you got the right clay consistency and some gravel and some lime or cement, one or the other, like only like 8 to 10% cement or 8 to 10% lime. Depending, you can't use one and the other. You can use one or the other, and you just ram it into these forms, and the formations and the colors are gorgeous and last forever, 1,000 years plus. I wouldn't mind having on my gravestone, 2,000 years from now when I'm dead. If I could live longer than that, or if I could become immortal, I'll do it. Here lies Mel Carmine, and have a list of all the things that we disrupted. Put it on my gravestone. Chisel it in, baby. You know why? Because it needs to be done. Somebody has to fucking do it. Let's watch the last video, and we'll tie a bow on it from what this guy said. This lady is freaking amazing. Watch this. Okay, here we go. All right.
As I was connecting with my baby, and they were making it very clear they needed to be born without a birth certificate and without a social security number, a million different questions started flooding my mind. It was, well, how are they going to get a job? How are they going to get a driver's license? How are they going to function in society, go to school, do all these different things, because I didn't want to make decisions for them on their behalf that took away opportunity from them. Really, I felt my job as a mother was to foster and create opportunities for everything that they wanted in their lives, whether it was to go to college or to be an entrepreneur or whatever it was. So as I started asking the questions and I started asking for guidance, I discovered that everything in that realm is also a lie, that we need to have a birth certificate and a social to operate in society. So I started discovering that you actually don't need any of those things. As long as I could get my baby a passport based on his nationality rather than citizenship, because that was another thing that was revealed to me on how important our nationality is and how they trick us into citizenship, is getting that passport based on our nationality, that he could do any and all of those things. And he could even choose to have a birth certificate later down the road if that's something he chose. I started recognizing that even by me getting him a birth certificate and a social would have taken that choice from him. So I really created this opportunity for him, setting up this foundation that he could choose anything and everything that he wanted as he grew, and it was just my job as a mother to foster that. So really, it creates all opportunities. So he can work privately if he wants to. And really that's the whole goal, is to teach him how to be an entrepreneur, how to create his own world for himself. But if he grows up and he's like, you know what, I want to work for someone else and I want to work corporately, he can absolutely do that with the passport and by creating trusts and doing different things like that that set him up to operate in society, but we're doing it intentionally. I started recognizing that the way the government works is they've created a system. They created a system where they create a business out of our name with the birth certificate. They create an insurance policy. They insure all of us, and they create citizenship so that we'll contract. So seeing how they operated, I started recognizing we can do all of those things intentionally, but privately, so that we're not contracting or making contracts with governments and having to ask permission. We can actually do that all privately and still operate in society perfectly. So as
I absolutely adore that lady. That's a smart blonde, let me tell you. That's probably one of the smartest blondes you'll ever meet. But you see, things are changing. People are getting educated. People know that this is a scam. People are going to start digging. People are going to start to find out the facts. People are going to start to reveal what they find out and the solution. You don't have to be part of the system. You don't have to have a driver's license. You don't have to have insurance even. You could just get your thing bonded with like $1 million bond on your truck, and that's your insurance. And somebody gets hurt, they get paid off of that bond. And it doesn't cost all that much. I know my friend Shad drives around. He's got a bonded license plate. And I'm going to call Shad one of these days because I'm going to move in that direction. I'm going to take my driver's license and say, here, thank you. I don't need it anymore. Here's your registration and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. Why am I signing my vehicle that I paid $35,000 for over to the state? It's craziness. They can come pick it up anytime they want. God forbid something happens to you and you die. You know who inherits your car? If there's no next of kin, the state. They get it all. It's such a well thought out Ponzi scheme. They got the whole thing rigged, folks. Donald Trump was right when he said it's rigged. The whole thing is rigged. Okay? You want to stop wearing clothes. This is cotton, by the way. But if you want to stop wearing clothes that are poisonous, cotton, well, linen is the best. Second best is hemp. Third best is cotton. These are clothes that allow the energy to flow and it's healthy for you, etc. Start a company that sells linen, hemp, and cotton. 100%. There's a void there. There's a vacuum. Go look at, educate your people how bad polyester and all these materials that they're selling is that get us into the bloodstream. Educate them. Make a short little video when they walk into your storefront. Let them get educated. And then they'll understand why they're buying your shit, because your shit is the real shit. It's healthy for you. Guys, spread this around. Let's get that movie out. I believe in humanity. Don't give me a reason to give up on you. I will not give up on you. But if I see you giving up, I'm walking away. When you start seeing Mel making 15-minute video here and a 12-minute video there, you know, I'm pretty much at this point saying, okay, you guys are asleep and on the wheel of the car. I'm doing something different. But we are having weekly business opportunity meetings with this gentleman. I'm bringing him to the table. This is an incredible opportunity. He'll explain to you in layman's terms why he feels it's legit, why there's never going to be a rug pull, why they're being registered in all the places. They give them all the credentials and all the legitimacy you could possibly imagine. This is where artificial intelligence meets cryptocurrency and trading. It's a trifecta, triple storm, the perfect storm where you can make a fortune, okay? People in the future will not have to go to work because artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, and these bots that are trading in real time in like milliseconds, don't make mistakes. I've said it many, many times. Artificial intelligence is 100 times smarter and faster than humans, and it is. And this particular program that we're bringing to you, you can go slow. You don't have to go fast. Learn as you go. If you get more confidence, you want to throw a little bit more in, you want to bring in a few more people, introduce a few more people, you can do that as well. I don't believe it's network marketing or multi-level marketing, but I do believe that, well, everything's multi-level marketing, but you know what I'm saying. You can come in and just, you could build it. These guys 3 months ago were making $20,000 a month, $15,000, $20,000 a month, and I wasn't paying attention. I talk to them now, 6-7 months later, and my little piddly bullshit thing that I did is now yielding $500-$600 a week, and they're making $300,000 a month, $200,000 a month. The son's making $2,000 a day. Pay attention. I'm coming at you, and I'm coming at you with Cobus 2. That's going to be very exciting, and we will catch you on the next one. Guys, make sure you take my videos and spread them out. The algorithms are, I mean, they literally have me throttled down at the absolute maximum. At the absolute maximum, please. I'm asking you. Thank you. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Stop! Don't you dare scroll! Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we've been bamboozled in ways that you can't even imagine. From the creator who dared to question everything in Dear Mr. President comes a revelation so explosive it will shatter your perception of reality. I'm about to tell you a story that is going to absolutely piss off a lot of people in the United States of America.
Want to know how the trick is done? Du bist ein Strawman. It's a strawman operation. You are the strawman.
This is the biggest scam ever, and your government, it thinks that you are stupid. Your local hospital thinks that you are stupid. The system is broken. It's working exactly how it was designed, just not in your favor. Capiche? Welcome to the movie Dear Mr. President, Show Me the Money, a movie about the straw man. This is a story that's going to piss off 8 billion people, a story that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that a lot of you are worth 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, and more.
Okay, my understanding of the legal fiction, which is also referred to as the straw man, I believe that they actually give us a fictional entity which we can actually use or not use. And I believe this is and a lot of other researchers do as well, that this is your name in either uppercase or with a title.
So what is this legal fiction of yours? It's your twin brother or twin sister, born the same day you were. Yes, you've had a twin your whole life, which was created by contract. The birth certificate your mother and father signed when you were born was a contract. The signing of that contract gave authority to the Social Security Administration to create a legal fiction that just happens to mirror your name.
Listen, if you were worth $100 million or $200 million, wouldn't you want to know? I know, I sure as hell would. We kept it dumbed down on the 3rd and 4th grade level of education, not because we think that you people are stupid out there, but because we believe that it needs to be dumbed down so that everybody can understand it. They've dumbed me down too, okay? I'm part of this whole entire thing. We found the most elementary videos out there to tell the whole story, and we glued together that is going to absolutely leave you flabbergasted. The only thing I can tell you from this point forward is that you go get a marriage license, it's a bond. You get divorced, it's a bond. You get a driver's license, it's a bond. You get a fishing license, it's a bond. You get a hunting license, it's a bond. You get a ticket, that ticket gets traded. Ticket like a speeding ticket. Any kind of traffic violation at all. That's why the cops out there, most of them are as dumb as a box of bricks. They know nothing about nothing, and they allow this shenanigan to play out because the guy upstairs is not going to explain to them what they're really doing. The guys upstairs know how the game is played. They're making a lot of money. These cops knew out on the street what is going on, what was being perpetrated onto the American people, not to mention the fact that we got bigger fish to fry than stop little old ladies that are doing 12 miles an hour over the speed limit, who's part of the social insecurity system, the social slave system, who's still got to go to work and is pressed for time and is doing 12 miles an hour over the speed limit, and you got 9 guys with 17,000 lights around them intimidating them. I think that's wrong. There's no emergency here, okay? And they intimidate you, they bamboozle your words. And I hate to tell you, more than half of your cops know what they're doing. They know how the game is played, except they're not allowed to make the big money. They got the highest divorce rates because they have financial problems. Meanwhile, they're stopping you. They're trading all of this money that they're collecting from the public and putting it upstairs. And all these people are making all of this money. The only thing I can tell you is this. What you do from this point forward is up to you, because you should move this movie out to everybody you know. Guys, it's time to wake up. Watch the movie for whatever it's worth. Get it out there to everybody, because you know what? We have to wake up everybody. You know why? Because we're in a war. In a war, there's going to be casualties. Look, I understand what kind of risk I'm putting myself through. I get it. But the reality is someone's got to do it. And I'm not afraid of anything or anybody except for my God. Thank you and enjoy the show.